Kool Hits Sports Network proudly presents the 16th Region Basketball Draw and Preview Show live on Kool Hits 105.7 and Kool TV. We will take a look at the 16th Region brackets and make our picks for who will represent the 16th Region in the Sweet 16 in Lexington. Now let's head to Morehead State University for the 16th Region Basketball Draw and Preview Show live on the Kool Hits Sports Network and Kool TV.
Good morning, Isabella.
Hi, David.
Back for your morning routine?
Clark's Refresh Rewards program is something you'll flip for.
Hey, Isabella. Hi, Annabelle.
Donut?
Don't forget the sprinkles. Cream and sugar.
Download our app today and enjoy all of the rewards. No flipping required.
Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Home is where you hang your hat. And if you're looking for a newer, nicer home to hang your hat in, talk to the Commercial Bank of Grayson. You'll like our selection of fixed and adjustable rate mortgages and competitive rates. We also offer construction loans, auto loans, online and mobile banking, and many other services. Commercial Bank of Grayson. Grayson and Olive Hill. Here for you for 125 years and counting. And you can hang your hat on that. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you can picture yourself in a better job and a better life, there are thousands of openings in Kentucky right now. And with the Work Ready Kentucky Scholarship, you can prepare for many of them tuition-free. Good at Ashland Community and Technical College. This scholarship offers 100% free tuition for classes that can prepare you for a great job in healthcare, advanced manufacturing, and more in as little as 13 weeks. Get started today at WorkReadyKentucky.com.
Primary Plus is celebrating 40 years of its mission of quality, advanced, affordable health care. With over 11 primary care locations throughout the region, Primary Plus believes in our communities and our patients. The Primary Plus name means primary care plus so much more, offering extended services such as women's health, pediatrics, dental, counseling, diabetes management, infusion services, and on-site pharmacy that offers free delivery. Primary Plus believes in connecting health care for you and your family and is always welcoming new patients. Learn more at primaryplus.net. If you're looking for a complete discount pharmacy with old-fashioned service and excellent prices, look no more. Since 1979, Stultz Pharmacy has provided our area with the finest in pharmacy care, 24-hour emergency prescription service, free delivery, and drive-through service for prescriptions. Stultz Pharmacy continues to fill all of your expectations. They carry a nice selection of gift items. For hometown service, see the professionals at Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stultz Pharmacy.
The Greenup County Public Library System is the best. Read the latest bestsellers in large print, regular print, or audio CDs. You can also check out movies or place a hold on a book on our website or call one of the library locations to place a hold. There are community meeting rooms available by reservation at all locations for clubs and organizations. And be sure to check out the Jesse Stewart collection at the Greenup County branch. Check them out on Facebook and Twitter.
Spring fishing season is just around the corner, and Border Sporting Goods is your fishing headquarters for rods and reels from G. Loomis, St. Croix, Fenwick, Lewes, Daiwa, Shimano, and Abu Garcia. No matter what species of fish you are targeting, Borders has the perfect setup to make your next trip on the water a success. Borders has baits in every style and size with a wide selection of tackle from Berkeley, Strike King, Zoom, Z-Man, Bandit, and many more. Before hitting the water for your next fishing trip, stop by and stock up at Border Sporting Goods, US 60 West in Ashland.
Since 1932, we've been a proud part of Kentucky, dedicated to serving our members with integrity, respect, and a commitment to excellence. We believe that by working together, we can create a brighter future for everyone. Whether you're saving for a new home, planning for retirement, or starting your own business, we're here to help you every step of the way. So stop wishing and start doing. And let's build a financially successful future together. Thank you for being a part of our journey.
Back here on the 16th Region Draw Show here at Morehead State University. Let's go back through the brackets. We had a little bit of audio issues first off, so let's go back through the brackets first. So start with the girls, and you'll see these here on your screen. First thing first is Ashland and Raceland. That will play Monday, March 3rd, followed by East Carter and Rowan County. That game plays at 8 o'clock on Monday night. Then in the second night, Menifee County and Boyd County, we'll get things going at 6:30. Followed by Russell and Morgan County. And guys, let's look at real quick. Let's just go ahead and stay with the brackets while we've got it up here. Spencer, I'll start with you. Ashland Racing right out of the gate.
That is a huge matchup, and it's we're all going to sit here and say that we think Ashland's the favorite going in. Everybody knows that they're the favorite going in, but I think it gives Raceland a huge opportunity. The district championship really didn't go the way you thought it was going to go. And if you would have watched the first half, you'd say, oh, Raceland, they're going to finally do it. They're going to get over the hump, break the streak is what James says, and win this game. Maynard fouls out midway through the third quarter. And, yeah, they had some people step up like Broughton and Campbell that were really, really good for the Rams. They battled really well, but they were just missing that edge when Maynard fouled out. And I think it's an opportunity for Raceland. They don't even have to win the game, but I think if they play them close, it says a lot about that program.
Coach E, we did the 63rd. We saw a lot with Raceland, and they really pushed Russell, had opportunities there. But, again, you get to this position, and you run yourself into a chance of reaching or drawing Ashland right out of the gate.
Yeah, we talked about that during the game, and the loser of this game's got a chance to reach in there and get Ashland, and Marty got them. Now, anybody can be beaten on a given night. Do I think it will happen? Probably not. Ashland's just so much more talented than everybody else.
Jim, again, it's been no secret this year, Ashland in the field. And again, Raceland back-to-back seasons in the 16th Region Tournament for the first time since 07-08. That was when they were in the middle of a four-peat of coming to the regional tournament. But you've got a tough matchup right out of the gate there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you get to the regional tournament, and that's one goal the team's always said is to get there. But from this point on, now it's you want to win, and you don't, you go home, and let's face it, being a runner-up, you're a runner-up for a reason. That's because you're going to have to play a winner, and that's why that district championship is so important. And Ashland, by far, as long as they're healthy, and Kenley seems to be healthy, somebody has to knock them off. I don't see it happening. I think they're the prohibitive favorite to win this regional tournament, and it's a tough draw for Raceland. And they got it because they didn't win the district, and that's what happens to runner-ups. You take that chance.
Kim, when you look at that matchup again, you're behind the eight ball, obviously, if you're Raceland. But how do you go in and just try to play, almost like you're feeling like you're playing on house money?
Well, as you guys mentioned from the get-go, Ashland coming into this whole regional tournament, everybody knew they were probably going to make it to this point. Raceland comes in, they come up a little short the other night. I think one key factor, and you guys saw it the other night, you've got to keep Nia Maynard on the floor. I mean, she fouled out the other night, and I watched the entire game. It kind of took the wind out of Marty's sails, and Ashland's got Kenley back, coach. They've got Gabby back. They're rolling on all cylinders. They're playing very well. Raceland's going to have to to make the upset, which it would be an upset if they beat them. We're going to put 4 quarters together and stay out of foul trouble. You know, Marty's got the good backcourt in Campbell and Broughton and Rigsby, but they're going to really have to compete to knock off Ashland on the first game.
Game number 2, you'll have East Carter going after Rowan County, and this was a game that played at the end of the season. East Carter got a nice win over Rowan County there in Grayson. Spencer, when you look at this game, a matchup of a latter part of the season, what do we expect this time around?
Well, East Carter, the last time they played a 62nd district team, they got beat. They went to Bath County. That probably played their worst game they did all year. Rowan County, and you know, I talked to some of the people that work for us who go out and do the Rowan County games. I didn't get to do them. I only got to watch them once. It was probably the worst game they played all year. Not to take anything away from East Carter. East Carter's a very good team. But Rowan County, I think they beat Boyd County by 25 the next time they played. So I think this is a revenge game for Rowan County. It's also another opportunity for Coach Matt Clark's East Carter Raiders. It's a this is not familiar territory for them. They barely missed it 2 years ago when they lost to Elliott in the first round of the 62nd district down in Knollfield, and they finally punched through and won the district this year. And for him and his girls, they got to feel like, back to what James said, they're playing with house money. Anything other than what we've already done, which has been fantastic for that program, is a bonus. And you know that program better than anybody. There's expectations that go behind East Carter's girls basketball team, and I think that they're going to that's just that matchup and the Menifee Boyd are the 2 best first-round matchups.
Coach, when you look at that matchup, we kind of at least Matt Stokes didn't draw Ashland this year.
Yeah, that's a bonus. Definitely right, Spencer. It's a revenge game because that game was for the EKC regular season championship that night, and East Carter won. I actually covered that game. East Carter just bullied Rowan County that night. I mean, they bullied them around. They were more physical. They out-rebounded by something like 9 or 10. So if Rowan County's going to get that revenge that they're obviously going to want, they're going to have to turn that around. The physicality part of it, better than what they did on the
Well, they'll have to keep Rutledge out of the lane. Rutledge killed them in the lane, and she was just said, all right, now you try to stop me. I'm going to match your physicality. I'm going to go right down the lane, and I dare you to step in front of me. And Rowan County just didn't. And Rutledge really took control of that game. That's something that she has done all season long. And look for Matt Clark to do that exact same thing unless Rowan County does something different.
Jim, when you look at Rowan County, again, I was talking to Coach Stokes earlier, and I said, you're going to draw Ashland. He goes, yeah. He said, we've already been prepping for it, but usually it's Ashland, Rowan County first night. Ashland drew first, and everybody's like, okay, here comes Rowan County. But for Matt Stokes, it has to be a sigh of relief, like, okay, I'm still in Ashland's bracket, but at least I've got an opportunity to try to get out of the first round.
Yeah, I talked to him after the draw, and I said, hey, you broke the streak. And he was laughing. He said, yeah. He said, I looked over at Mandy and said, Stacy and said, we got each other as soon as they drew that first pick. And I'm sure it was relief, but I'm sure, he's going to get his team ready to play anybody. And I think, personally, this is the best matchup of the girls in the opening round, the best. It would be hard for me to pick this game because the factors you have to take in are, this is the way it is with every regional tournament. How are they going to respond coming to the big floor? And how are they going to respond with the open space under the baskets? How are they going to respond with 2 lines from the 3-point, picking the wrong one, jacking it up from too far out? We see that play out year in and year out. And sometimes those things are the keys in a really close game that determines who moves on. So I think it's going to be a really good game. East Carter's had a great season. Rowan County has proven they can beat good people. They've lost to people they probably should have beat. I just think it's going to be a really good game.
Pete Fraley we talked about it, he said he always told his girls, look, you don't have to take the first line, go farther up. And you see that a lot of that happens with that spacing on the floor. Kent, when you look at Rowan County, this was a team that a lot of people expected to not have that better of a season than what they had. And again, they lose Brinley Walker to East Carter, and I think that this year, this Rowan County team kind of played with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, I think you're right. Matt Stokes with Walker transferring. On the other side of that, he had a forward on the floor, Coach E. So when you've got a forward on the floor, you're going to be trying to do what you have to do. But Coach Stokes, I talked to him before we got here. He, as you guys mentioned, he stay away from Ashland, stay away from Ashland. He got that. But to echo what Jim said, Spencer, It's going to be the first game of the tournament. You got a bigger floor. We've seen it how many times out here. If a player gets fouled, how many times is there an air ball? Because you got that back opening going through the tunnel. And, you know, that's a mind thing when you're a high school kid, Spencer.
That's a big stage. And I think playing in a bigger arena, the floor's bigger. Of course, we all know that.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, as a young adult, you know, these girls in high school, playing in a big environment, that plays a big role. And it almost feels like the crowd's coming down on top of you. It's not comfortable. I'm getting dressed in my own locker rooms. It's not, oh, we're playing Morgan County for the second time this year. You're going to go play on a floor that you've never played on. I'm speaking for East Carter. Mm-hmm. And you're going to play a team that, you know, a lot of people thought you upset the first time you played them. So there's some obstacles there.
You know, you've had Ashland, you've had Round, you've had Boyd. Russell's been here on the big floor. They know what to expect, but sometimes those teams that I just mentioned do the same things, JC, that East Carter might face. Not saying that they're going to, but a lot of these teams are familiar with the layout of the Johnson Arena, but a lot of teams still come in. If you're a National or a Boyd, sometimes they don't know where that line is, or they shoot an air ball. So it's just not only teams that really haven't been here for a while, it's the teams that's been here every year.
Day number 2, we'll start things off in the 6:30 game. This one should be a phenomenal matchup. Menifee County, Boyd County. Coach E, these two teams split in the regular season on each other's floor. Yeah. Boyd got the win down in Frenchburg in the first one. Menifee came up here, and that was the game we said Menifee County, if they're going to be one of those teams that's going to be in the top, they got to go beat somebody, and they beat Boyd County in Canonsburg, and that's a big win for them.
Absolutely, and we said at the first of the year, Menifee County could easily be the second best team in the region. At least I did. Some of you guys laughed at me, but it's been Ashland, and then I've said this all year on our show, James. It's been Ashland from the beginning. The rest of these teams have been in a GOM. I call it a GOM for the rest of the year. They just took turns beating each other, and like you said, both those games were tight games. Boyd and Menifee, one on each other's floor. Now they get to go on a neutral floor and settle it. I think that's got a chance of being a really fantastic game to watch.
Spencer, we look at Menifee, and we had that game over in the All-A, and it starts in the middle with Peyton Burgess. She averages a double-double, and a lot of those rebounds she pulls in is offensive rebounds, but they've got the leading free throw shooter in the state in J.C. Jividan. You've got Shylon Baker that's just a beast that she goes to war anywhere you're on. And then, of course, then you've got the girl that transferred out of Menifee County, McKenna Smith. You got 4 really good pieces there, and then you add in their 5th person I believe her name's Andy Wells. That is a very good collection. The only problem with Menifee is if anybody gets in foul trouble and they got to go to the bench, the production drops off tremendously.
Yeah, they have. I shouldn't say they don't have a good bench. They're not. There's a significant fall off in their starting 5. And you know, James, me and you watched Menifee County several times during that All-A tournament, and matchup-wise, they're starting 5. They have more length, they have more size, and they have just as much speed as any other team in the 16th region. They match up with anybody. They can if you let them get on the boards, they'll kill you. When Baker gets downhill, no one's stopping her. If you leave Jividan open behind the arc, she's going to hit it. This was I'll tell you what, and I'll say it on the air, and I don't care. People get mad at me, that's fine.
I knew we were going to get one of those I don't care people get mad at me.
I was surprised.
I don't know if they can match up with anybody
15
now.
minutes into the show.
I'm surprised that they beat Round twice in regular season. I mean, that Round beat them twice in regular season. Because if they played the way that we watched them play, they shouldn't have. Because that team really stretched the floor. And I think a bigger floor, like you keep saying, benefits Menifee County.
Jim, you look at Boyd County, a youthful team, Kim Grove's first year, and this was everybody's, they said at the beginning of the year, if you're going to get Boyd, this is the year to do it. And then they come out and they put up a really, really nice season. But it all starts, they've got so many different pieces, but it starts with her daughter, who is a 7th grader, of Colin Groves, who can shoot it from anywhere on the floor.
Yeah, and, you know, Boyd County also has, let's face it, tradition plays a whole lot.
Absolutely.
Too. And they have tradition of being at the regional tournament, and even if they have a new coach now, it's not like she's never coached before in her life, and that tradition is continuing. I thought that East Carter Raceland matchup would probably be the best matchup, but I think this one's right up there with it. However, I just think it's all going to play out on the things that are the intangible things. Who can handle the big floor, the spacing on the big floor. You know, when we get to the boys, one of the things I'm sure we'll talk about is how Ashland spaces out the big floor better than anybody we've seen. That's why they've won as many regional championships as they have. And I think when it comes to the girls, that's a big key. And you're going to see them jack up the threes from that other line instead of the close one. And you're going to see them getting tired running up and down that big floor. You're going to see that. And then injuries and foul trouble. Those intangibles are huge in really close games where the matchups are close. Those are huge.
Something that Boyd County brings to the table too, Ken, is they've got a couple players that just defensive stalwarts. And
Opel.
She's a bulldog. I think she's the best defender in the 16th region, and I think that she could go out and she could D up a lot of the guys on the just the physical nature that she brings, and it's something too that's one of the things that she has to figure out early on. What's the whistle going to be and how she adjusts to that whistle, because if you lose her off of the floor, you're losing a big piece of the puzzle.
Well, again, as you mentioned, probably one of the best defensive players in the region, in the state of Kentucky. I got to do Boyd County a few times this year, and if I'm Coach Groves, I'm looking at the Menifee County starting fives to see who their best player is, and I'm putting Miss Opel on that best player. She can guard anybody in the region.
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup. Final matchup on Tuesday night. This one should be a dandy as well. Russell and Morgan County, and a lot of people may look at this and say, well, not so much, but Coach E, this is a game early in the year. Morgan County brought Russell up to West Liberty, and they gave them all they wanted.
Yeah, they did, and we had their games this week, obviously, James. If I'm Mandy Lane, I'm worried about slow starts. Both games, terrible starts for Russell.
Yes.
Down to Greenup 9-5, down to Raceland 12-0. You get over there in the region and you get down like that with a terrible start. I think they had 7 or 8 turnovers the first quarter against
Seven
Greenup.
turnovers against Greenup, yes.
If they do that against Morgan and Morgan against confidence and jumps out on them like that, you could see an upset. But I think Russell is one of the teams that the bigger floor will benefit, because their game, they need to get out in transition.
And that's the big thing that they like to do, Spencer. That's something that when you've got a Kennedy Darnell, a Gabby Oborn that really likes to get it in transition, when they get those turnovers out top, which I think is where they want to try to get those at least easy transition buckets.
Yeah, especially you saw it in the third quarter against Raceland, especially towards the end of the third quarter when Maynard fouled out. Russell really is a team that, you said that, you're going to see girls that shoot behind that second line. Well, Russell's comfortable back there. They can shoot back there.
They can make them, too.
They can make them.
Gabby Oborn's anywhere from the volleyball line in. She's good. She's usually better. Mandy even kidded after the game the other night. She said, I guess we should have just maybe shot from half court most of the game. Maybe we shot a little better in the first half.
But she's not a great three-point shooter. She's 26%.
Yeah.
I mean, she makes some big ones, but she's not a great three-point shooter.
Yeah, but Maynard's the same way for Raceland. As soon as the volleyball line's in range for her. But, looking at this matchup, I didn't get to, look at the stats of that first time they played, but you can't help but think, walking out of this meeting, Mandy's pretty happy with her draw. Just call it what it is.
57-53 winners. It was a 4-point win on the road, so I don't know that you'd say that Mandy Lane is joyful right now.
Well, you could play Boyd County, and that I think that Morgan's a more favorable matchup for Russell than Boyd County. And, just by going with it, if you take the momentum that you gained midway through the third quarter of the district title, and the way you played in the fourth quarter, and Raceland, listen, they battled and they should. They're a good team. And you take this to the regional tournament, which a floor you're familiar with. Russell's played as many games there as anybody. I think that this is a matchup that really, really favors Russell.
Jim, I think when I look at the matchups of the first 4 games, this game is the most dangerous of any of the 4, simply because you've got Morgan County coming in playing on house money.
Yeah, that's probably true, because, you look at Ashland's a big favorite, and, people expect them to beat Raceland. Like we said, the East Carter Round game and Menifee Boyd games are close games. And you're right, Morgan and Russell's going to be a favorite if everybody looked at it. But Morgan's playing, like you said, with house money. They're coming in thinking, hey. But I want to go back to something that you said about the slow starts, okay? Yeah, but they've come back and won those games, which tells you something about that team too. Every one of them, they've come back and won them. So even though they start slow, they're able to adjust, they're able to get their stuff together. And I think that when you get to this stage of the season where one and done, I mean, this is it. There's no runner-up going. You get beat, season's over. Coaches are more apt to call timeouts quicker. They're going to settle their team down before they get down 12-0. They're going to settle them down, and I don't think you'll see that happen. And I think even though Morgan's going to come in inspired and thinking
Mandy's hoping it don't happen.
Yeah. Thinking we have nothing to lose, I still think Russell, with their experience, they like to play open and get up and down. I still like them winning this game.
Something that Mandy said after the win the other night against Raceland, she said that she's going to get her team a bunch of shovels for as many holes as they dig themselves in. But she said the one thing about it this year is that they have been in bigger halftime deficits than what they were against Raceland, and they found a way to come from behind. And again, you can say what you want about Russell. People are like, well, they're not very good. They've got a soft. They did not play a soft schedule. They finished 23-7, and yeah, they took a couple of lumps early on, but in case anybody forget, they are the defending champs. And again, you're the champ until somebody knocks you off on the biggest stage. And Kent, when you look at with Derek Young and the energy that he brings to his team, you've got two polar opposites between him and Mandy. You know, Derek's very energetic. Mandy just kind of cool, calm, and collected. And on the big stage, especially with a team like Morgan County that hasn't been here for this for a while, that's something I think is going to be key, is making certain that you don't let your energy cause an effect against the kids that you're playing with as well.
Well, when we go back what we talked about earlier about the teams, guys that have already been here. Russell's been here numerous times. When they come out of those locker rooms and whatever end of the floor, they know what's going on. They've been here, done that. Morgan County, as you said, James, been a few years, but Derek Young, he's done a great job there at West Liberty. Has some great kids to play out for him. And I think at the end, Russell moves on.
Well, if the Morgan County team that played East Carter in the district championship shows up down here to Morehead, they're going to get run out of the gym because East Carter beat them, 20 points? And
more.
Yeah, exactly. So Morgan County cannot show up down here and play like they did in that district championship. And you guys can say house money all you want. They didn't play with house money in Elliott County, and you've seen what happened. So they'll have to be extremely loose and really play out of characteristics.
Actually, they were playing with house money because they were coming to the regional tournament.
Well, that makes it worse then.
I mean, that's the thing, is that you had nothing to lose that night. You were coming to the region either way. So
and you're playing the defending state champs.
Not state champs.
Or
just region champs. Yeah, Sacred Heart might have a little bit to say about that.
Region champs, sorry.
All right, let's real quick. Let's take a look at the girls bracket real quick. Once again, as we'll show it on your screen, Ashland and Raceland. They're on that Monday night, 6:30, first game out of the chute. How crazy is this going to be? Marty Thomas, an Ashland guy, going to play Stacy Davis, and that game they did play in the regular season as well, by the way. East Carter's got Rowan County to close things out on day number 1. That game will play at 8 o'clock. Then on Tuesday, day 2, Menifee County, Boyd County. This will be the rubber match between this one, as Boyd took the first game, Menifee took the last game there in the latter part of the season, and then Russell and Morgan County to close things out. Again, all games can be seen right here on Kool TV. We'll start each night at 6 o'clock with Game Changer, powered by Papa John's Pizza. All right, we'll step out for a break. We come back, we'll switch things over, and we'll go to the boys bracket as we continue our coverage here on the Clark's Pump and Shop 16th Region Draw Show, live from Morehead State University on Kool TV.
I'm rolling on empty. Holla if you feel me. Gotta make a pit stop. Got my boys Carl and Robinson rolling with me. I pump my gas. I grab my snacks. I'm saving cash with my Clark's Pump and Shop app. I pump and shop. I pump and shop. I use the app to pump and shop.
Use Clark's Pump and Shop app to earn rewards and save big.
Use the app to pump and shop.
At First National Bank, we strive to make every person that walks through our doors feel like family. Because to us, you are. For over 120 years, we have lived in and served the families of Kentucky with genuine care through the good times and the bad. Come and see the difference banking with family can truly make for you at any of our 7 locations, or visit our website at www.fnbgrayson.com. First National Bank, member FDIC.
I got kicked off campus, but they let me back on because my dad knew the dean.
Give me that ooey gooey, crispy, crunchy, mouth watering. Give me that meaty, treaty, zesty, bestie, garlic, saucy. Give me that dippy, doughy, melty topping, pepperoncini popping. Give me that cheesy, saucy, tossy, Papa John. Give me that foldy, pepperoni, tantalizing. Give me that choco chicky, sticky, sweetie, hypnotizing. Give me that dippy, drippy, drummy, ripping, Papa wanging. Give me that cheesy, saucy, tossy, Papa John. Better ingredients, better pizza, better get you some. Now I'm talking about, yeah.
The Ashland Area YMCA is where families and friends come to stay active and have fun. As a staple of the Ashland community for 125 years, we offer a wide range of activities and classes. We have something for all ages and interests, from cardio, fitness, and personal training, to swimming at our junior Olympic-sized pool, to a variety of sports facilities and programs. Follow us on social media to learn more about our programs or visit us today at the Ashland Area YMCA.
McMeans Pharmacy has 2 locations to serve you. Stop by 29th Street and Carter Avenue in Ashland or in their South Point location. Call McMeans Pharmacy in Ashland at 325-8400. In South Point, call 740-377-2677. For all your pharmacy needs, McMeans Pharmacy is the place for you. McMeans Pharmacy in Ashland and South Point. In Ashland, call 325-8400. In South Point, call 377-2677.
Back here at Morehead State University on the Clark's Puppet Shop 16th Region Draw Show. Spencer Hutchinson, Coach Hager Eastling, Jim Forrest, Kent Robertson. I'm James Carr. Happy to have you along with us here. Let's switch things over to the boys' side as we will take a look at the brackets. These games start on Wednesday, March 5th, 6:30. First game, Morgan County and Russell right out of the gate, followed by Fleming County and Boyd in the nightcap. That one should be a phenomenal contest. On day number 2, March 6th at 6:30, Ashland and Elliott County, followed by Raceland and Rowan County in the final game of the opening round. Boys will then pause through the weekend. They'll come back on Monday, March 10th. They'll play at 6:30 and 8 in the semifinals, and then their championship game will play on Tuesday, March 11th. Guys, let's start first with that first game, Morgan County Russell. Morgan County, a team that has caught fire at the right time. I got to see them latter part of the season at East Carter, and they were a much different looking team than they were when they played through the All-A. And anytime, Coach E, you know this all too well, anytime you go to Sandy Hook and you get a victory there, that is saying a lot.
Definitely an upset. Morgan's just the kind of team that they just fight you. I mean, they do. They just fight, scrap, run, play well together as a team. Reese does a good job with them. And like you said, they're getting hot at the right time.
When you've got a team like Morgan, Spencer, and you've seen them a couple times this year with the games that they have, they've got different guys on any given night that can get going. The Trusty kid can be solid. The Dagnan kid one night. It's not always one guy that you have to focus on. And teams like that, it makes it sometimes very difficult to figure out what you have to do when you're on that given night of trying to slow somebody down.
They're a very dangerous team. They're the most unappreciated team in this region. And when I say that, though, because they've got Trusty, like you said, they got Dagnan, they got Gamble, they got Hampton, they got guys that can hurt you from all parts of the floor. Their record really is not indicative of how good this team really is. And I think Elliott County found that out Friday or yesterday. Yeah. So this is a dangerous game. This might be my favorite game, actually. Fleming Boyd's my favorite, but this is a great game, man. I'm telling you, this is going to be Russell will have to play a certain way to win this game. We'll have to see the Russell that played against Lewis if they're going to win. If the Russell that played against Raceland shows up, they're going to get beat. Just call it what it is. But Morgan County, they're a very, very good team. And like I said, that losing record not indicative of how good they really are.
Jim, you look at Morgan County and the fact that they lost 2 weeks ago to Elliott 85-73. And that game was at Sandy Hook. And then they go up there last night and hold Elliott to 50 points in that district championship game. A little bit of nerves for the youthful group out of Elliott County. Again, kids that have been playing since they were 8th graders are mostly sophomores now. Or has Morgan learned a little bit after that 4-game losing streak that was losses to Greenup, Elliott, Rowan, and Bourbon, and then they turned around, knocked East Carter off in the opening round of the district tournament by 1, and then get the win over Elliott for the championship?
Well, I think it could be a number of things. Didn't see the game, so don't know what the ebb and flow of that game was. But I'm sure nerves had a lot to do with Elliott County being young, playing for a district championship
Morgan
on
led the
their
whole game.
Home floor.
They led the whole game.
And Morgan County coming in saying, hey, we're going to the region no matter what, and we're going to go out and play our best. We want to win this district championship and take it from them. I still think that going up against Russell is going to be an interesting matchup. I think it could go either way. Russell has some things that Elliott doesn't have, and Morgan's going to have to try and defend differently than they did against Elliott. Russell's going to have to play a really good game, though. I mean, because Morgan County's got confidence coming in here. They feel like, again, you have to beat us. We're a district winner. So you're going to have to come to us. I think it's going to be an interesting game. Could go down to the wire. Again, going to come down to those intangibles like it a lot of times does.
Kent, you look at Russell, I think one of the things that they present a problem to Morgan County, they have not played this year, by the way, is the fact of they've got two big guys in Caleb Rimmer and Tyler Cordial, and Tyler Cordial had a phenomenal 63rd district tournament.
Watching the game last night, and you guys did it, and Coach E mentioned Rimmer several times. They weren't giving him the ball early on in that game last night. And, Coach, once they started giving Caleb the ball, he made a difference. He had that huge block shot. And when you've got a tight game, I don't care if you're up 10 or 20 or 1 or 2, when you get a big shot like he blocked last night, that kind of gets everybody going. It gets the crowd going. It gets Derek and his bench going. So it'll be interesting to see on the side of that, JC, Russell's got very good outside shooting.
They do. And, Coach E, one of the things that he says that they didn't give Rimmer the ball. There was a reason they wasn't giving him the ball. It's because Rayson wasn't letting them get the ball.
Yeah.
And I don't know that Morgan County has that type of a lockdown guy that can get up in Rimmer's chest and take him away, because not only did they take him away, they took Ryder Burgess away too.
Absolutely. Waller and Connor Thacker, Jacob Waller, they did a great job last night. Defensively, Raceland, like you said, they just got up in them. I'm not sure Morgan County has either one of those that can lock those guys down like they did. He did get the ball a lot. He just couldn't do a whole lot with it because Thacker was shutting it down.
Raceland played awful good defense, and they've done that all year long. James, you've seen him a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But
Joe O'Brien makes him play defense.
I like Russell. I mean, we've talked about this all year, James. Keep an eye on this team definitely in the future. No seniors on the team, and Raceland played really well. Russell still had a chance at the end of the game to win it.
They did. All right, let's go to game number 2. This one should be a spectacular matchup. Fleming County and Boyd County, as they will take things out for the final game of day number 1 in the boys. And I've already had people sending me tweets and stuff. It's the first one to 100 wins. And Jim, you look at two teams with Fleming and Boyd. They both have shooters. They both like to shoot the long-range jump shot.
Yeah, they do. And this is going to be an exciting game for fans to come out and watch. Exciting game for you guys to call. And it's going to boil down to who gets on runs and who can stop those runs, because teams that like to get up and down the floor get hot, and they get a run going, and the other team has to stop that run, and then another run's going to come maybe by the other team. And I think it's going to be an exciting game. I've thought all year long Fleming County might be, I know everybody put Ashland, Boyd 1-2 probably, but I thought Fleming might be the second best team in the region. I think Buddy Biggs does a great job. I think he's got a team that he thinks can win. He thought he would do better than he did last year when he came here, and I think he thinks he can do it. But Boyd County, again, that tradition, they're here. It's just going to be an exciting ball game. I think probably the best matchup of the first round by far.
Kit, you look at what Boyd County does, and they have so many weapons from so many different places that they can shoot the outside shot, they can get to the rim, they can post up and go through the Childers kid. When you have a team like that, you have so many weapons. How much does that make it the difficult element of trying to figure out what you're going to try to take away from Fleming County?
Well, that's the thing. If your Buddy Biggs, he's been doing this a long time, he'll figure out a way to try to stop that. Don't know if he can. Boyd County really likes to get up and down the floor. Fleming County's got great players as well, but Boyd County, got to give them just a little bit of the edge. And as Boyd County has coached, and you've played, coached against them, Boyd County, if it's Randy or Kim, always get up in your nose playing defense.
This was a game too, by the way. 109-82 was the final when they played back on February 11th. Buddy Biggs walks into the gymnasium, you're going to see two things. 2-2-1 back to a 2-3. And when the only downside of that is that when you look at the way Boyd County shoots the basketball, you're doing a 2-3 you're going to try to give them the 3 and clog up the middle so they can't get those driving lanes. But when you've got Ethan Raridan that can sit in one corner, you can put Cole Hicks in another corner. Jacob Spurlock can go anywhere on the floor, and he's in range when he comes across the volleyball line. You've got Red Holbrook, and then you're bringing back in Griffin Taylor with some minutes there as well. And then don't forget about the Childers kid who can step out and hit that mid-range jump shot. That is a 2-3 zone matchup because if one person misses their assignment, it breaks everything down and you're shooting layups.
Yeah, I think if Buddy does anything else but
I would be shocked. I would fall out of the chair.
I was going to say all of us on press row would faint, I believe, if anything else happens. But if you watched any of that game that they played earlier, Boyd County shot the lights out, guys. I mean, they were on fire. A lot of quick one-pass and shots, and they were going in. So you score 109 points. Now, if they get over here that night, same thing, a lot of one-shot, quick threes, and they're not going in, and something happens, you fall behind, well, that zone looks tougher.
Yeah.
So, obviously Fleming could win this game, and this one kid, he doesn't get a lot of publicity around the region, probably because of where Fleming County is located. But Seth Hickerson, to me, is a top 3 player in the region.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Man, he's good.
And Spencer, you look at Fleming. They had the 16th Region Player of the Year last year at Adam Hargett, and they graduate that, and everybody's like, okay, Fleming's going to fall away. Well, then they bring the Robinson kid in. Jolly took another step forward, and I think because of what Robinson takes and brings to the table, the ability of Jolly to do what he does, because I think he's one of the best point guards in the entire 16th region, and that makes Seth Hickerson that much better because you can allow him to go out on those wings, kind of like what Spurlock does. You can just let him roam, and he can get free, and he can knock down shots anywhere.
Jolly might be the most dangerous player when he gets in the lane. Because he has and we saw, last time I saw him, they were playing at Ashland, he still wasn't 100%. But if he gets in the lane, he has 4 other guys that he can kick it to or he can take it himself. He's a strong finisher. This is going to be, the thing about Fleming County and Boyd County, their strengths are both strengths. And their weaknesses, they share weaknesses. So that's why he got the score 109-89. It was a classic AAU basketball game in the middle of the summer in Lexington is what it was.
Well, don't you think it's also going to depend on if either of the coaches decides we're going to change something up and do something different than we normally do? Most of the time that doesn't happen because coaches have the mindset, this is what got us here and this is what we're going to stay with. Although when you come to the big floor, how many times have you seen it here and at Rupp when you get there? Teams that are really good have horrible shooting days, and they get beat because it's not going in, like Hager said, when you come across and you start putting up those shots. We see it year in and year out at the region, and we really see it at the state. Some really good teams that shoot horribly.
Well, Boyd County, they haven't lost, but the last 2 times they've come down here, East Carter probably should have beat them. Especially the first year, if the free throws came as a factor at the end.
I think in this game, if coaches, if they do what they've been doing, then it's whoever's hitting.
I think Fleming County wins.
Whoever's shooting the best.
34 threes that night in that game. That game that they played.
Whoever's shooting
over
the best.
in Cannonsburg. Jacob was at that game, and I mean, it was just. He said everybody was. I mean, you'd get. It was like Oprah Winfrey was in the building. You get a 3. You get a 3. You get a 3. They spread it all over the floor, but that one certainly will be a phenomenal matchup to see. All right, game number 1 on day 2. We've got Ashland and Elliott County. Ashland, the perennial favorites in this one, and I've said it kind of this year. At the beginning of the year, I said you might as well go ahead and print the shirt, 7th Heaven. They're going for their 7th consecutive regional championship, and you've got the
record setting.
Yeah, record setting. If they do this, they'll break their own record. They had a 6-peat back, was it in the early 20s into the 30s, I believe it was.
Clark County had a 6-peat too.
Clark County had
they're tied right now. So they would own the record by themselves.
Yes, so there's they've got their own record along with Clark County, and then now if they get it, they would be 7, and that would put them in unpresident's position. But there were some times when you looked at them and said, okay, maybe they're gettable, and then you look at what they did down there in the stretch. If you want to say, well, this is the year you're going to get Ashland maybe at a chance, they sent a message in that district championship.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, I was shocked at the score and how well they played. But then again, maybe you shouldn't be because they played probably the toughest schedule of anybody in the region by far. And that gets you ready when postseason comes. Plus, when you got a group of kids who know, hey, we've won 6 in a row, we're not going to be the ones that break the streak. That just pumps them up when postseason comes, and now they're ready to play. And I just think they spread the ball so well on the big floor. It's hard for teams to defend against them. They can shoot outside. They can go inside. They got the best player in the region, maybe one of the best players, if not the best
I
player in the state.
I think he is a Mr. Basketball candidate.
Well, he is a Mr. Basketball candidate. Now, whether he wins it or not, but he could. Very well.
And Xander Carter is a kid. He has played on this floor several times. Last year, tournament MVP. He is a kid that can take over a game. And the biggest thing, Coach, that we've talked about many times with Xander, unlike a lot of players who are your phenomenal players, your number one, your stud, he's going to go guard the best player on the other team, and he will stay. And the most important thing is he does not foul.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were doing our preview show Sunday night, and I said, guys, Ashland's got a kid sitting over that his senior year on his home floor, he is not going to lose the district tournament. And he elevated his, if anything, I didn't know it was possible, but he elevated his game in that game. And he's another one of those kids, like you said, he'll guard the other team's best player, but he also makes his teammates better. And not a lot of players do that, especially in high school. He's one of those kids that does that. And if he elevates his game in the region the way he has in the district, it's going to be seventh heaven.
I think something that kind of goes under the radar, though, he is the perfect leader for Ashland.
Oh, 100%.
You couldn't get a better kid to lead Ashland than Xander Carter, a guy who's been there and done that. He's been they went to the Final Four a couple years ago. So he's been, as far as any team around here has been in a long time, and they've just dominated this region. I love Elliott County. Their best days are in front of them. Ashland.
Kent, you've seen Elliott some this year. We had them at the All-A. They were down 19 to Raceland in the third quarter, and they came back and won the championship in that All-A tournament. Again, this is a team that they're starting to feel the fruits of their labor, because a lot of those eighth graders and freshmen are now mostly sophomores and a junior, but they spread the floor. Everybody can shoot the basketball, and they've got the big kid of Crabtree that can get in the post, but he can also work away from the basket, and that makes it really tough at times.
It really does. Me and Greg been friends for years because my wife's from there, and we talk quite often. I saw him out here before the draw happened, and I said, "What happened last night?" He says, "Kent, we got to make shots. If you don't make shots, you go home." Luckily, they're still in the tournament, but after the draw of the boys' game, his kid's going to have to play phenomenal. As you mentioned, Xander Carter knows what the expectations are. The whole Ashland team knows. But when Elliott County comes out on this floor coming up Thursday night, no mistakes. They got to play good basketball. I give the edge to Ashland, but Elliott County will show up. But how long can they stay in the race?
You know, James, in this era of teams becoming more and more equal, especially with the way everybody transfers, all they want to transfer, it seems like, anymore, and the equity between all these teams. This is a phenomenon that we haven't seen in a long, long time, for a team to dominate like Ashland has for 6 straight years. I mean, think about it. 6 straight years they've won the regional championship, and they come in thinking they're going to win again. I mean, they are going to win again, and nobody's going to stop them. And it's not like they feel pressure to win a 7th. They feel they're entitled almost to win it because they feel like they're that good and they can play that good. They can rise. You know, they went to the King of the Bluegrass and lost 3 games in the King of the Bluegrass to really quality opponents, and then came back and started beating people again. Again, that schedule they play gets them ready for postseason, and that's what it's all about.
27 games they played this year. They only played 5 games in the region.
Yeah, 5.
And I'm talking about, when you talk about their schedule, they're playing teams in the top 15 in the state. You know, they took a tough loss to Bowling Green there to start February, haven't lost since. They played Great Crossing, first game of the year. Great Crossing's number 2 in the state. Hazard is in the top 5. They played them.
Lloyd
they
Memorial.
Had Woodford County, Lloyd Memorial, Butler County, Walton Verona, Danville Christian, all of those teams ranked in the state at some point or fashion. And I mean, it's just.
And Elliott has not played that competition.
They've not seen that level of competition.
And now they're going to play that competition because Ashland would be classified as one of those teams.
100%.
And those young kids are going to play a competition that they haven't played.
Yeah, they're going to see a
different
element.
I'm glad they're here and they've got a future in front of them, but I mean, they're going to play a competition they haven't played this year.
But the 6 straight regional championships for Ashland have not been smooth sailing. Wes Carter had them beat.
Wes Carter had them beat in regulation a couple years ago.
If it wasn't for Colin Porter's 3.
But that doesn't make any difference.
It doesn't, but I'm saying It wasn't like a freshly paved road. This was not. They came in here and blew everybody out.
No.
They've struggled and at times and found ways to win.
But that's a sign of a good team.
It is. It is
when you don't have your best stuff, or somebody that you're playing has something that's better than you that night, you still find a way to get a victory.
Some of you guys are too young, but Hager will remember.
Thank you.
With me,
60 years old.
Hey. When UCLA had that run under Wooden and won all those national championships, they didn't blow everybody out in every game to win those national championships, but they still did it, and they found a way every year to keep doing it. You don't have to blow everybody out. You can, as a matter of fact, most coaches will probably tell you you need a game in the regional tournament where you get tested, where it's close.
I just think it adds depth to their run.
Well, you
know what I mean?
got to see what your team's made of when it comes right down to it.
Well, Ashland, the same way as UCLA, like you're drawing the parallel. That winning, when it starts mounting, just builds confidence. And you expect to win. You expect to find a way. That means something, guys.
Yeah, that's the key. It's not that you expect to win. You expect to find a way to win.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
chips are down, you're going to find a way to win.
Yep.
And people like Carter is that type of player like they had with Alcindor and they had with Walton and they had with all their great guards at UCLA. Carter is that player on Ashland who's going to find a way. He's going to make his teammates better, but he's going to rise. And like Hager said, I think that's really hard to see how he can rise in different level, but he does.
Well, the moment's never too big for him.
It's never too big.
Never too big, for sure. Last game of the first round of the boys. This one should be a dandy. Raceland and Rowan County. You look at Raceland. Coach, we had the game last night on Kool TV. Joe Bryan getting his first ever district championship. He's been in Raceland for 4 years. First district championship since 2018 for the Rams. And it was a wire-to-wire win over Russell. And it was a game last night. They had double-digit leads in every single quarter. And every time Russell made a run, they answered in some form or fashion. And they are a team that for 32 minutes, they are going to guard you from baseline to baseline.
And if they do that, they've got a chance to make some noise here. We talked about that last night, James. That's the most focused throughout for 32 minutes that I've seen Raceland play, especially Connor Thacker. I mean, they were determined they were going to win that game. They were going to bring it home, and they did a great job. Joe's talked in the past, and they've had trouble closing out big games. 43-42, like you said, they led the whole game. Russell's on a run, cuts it to 1, 43-42. Raceland finished the game on a 10-2 run. Close it out. That's a good sign for them.
The other side of this, too, was that Raceland, you talk about the pressure mounting. They went undefeated on their floor this year. They were 14-0. And, Jim, I talked with Joe last night, and he said it was something they never talked about. He said, but it was something that the locker room knew. And it was something you could tell. The coaches didn't have to tell the players. It meant something to them, and they took it personal. And you look at what this Raceland team is doing coming into the tournament, they're arguably playing their best basketball of the season.
They are, and I'm really happy for Joe, and that's a great thing to say that you won all your games at home, but now it's a whole different side. It's a whole different situation. You're not at home anymore. You got to play on a big floor. Everything changes, and you got to take on a team that's got a coach that is going to probably far beyond any other coach is going to change up whatever he has to do to win a game. Yeah. He is going to play whatever defense he has to play. He's going to slow it down if he has to. He's going to do everything he can to try and beat you. And they being Raceland, is going to have to adjust to whatever Round throws at them.
Kent, one of the things Round loves to do, they love to get in transition. And if they can get in transition, the ball never touches the floor. And when you can go, in this case, 94 feet with the basketball never touching the hardwood, it makes it very difficult to defend that way because of how well the ball can move.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Raceland will have to stay with them in that transition game if they're running up and down the floor. Watch Round a couple times on our TV with Randy and Jared. They pass the ball so well, and they got so many good shooters, as does Raceland, Thacker, and guys like that. But Coach Thacker's been around a long time. Congratulations to Joe with his first district victory last night. I think it'll be a good game. Maybe 10-point winner either way, but I think it'll be a dandy come that night.
See, I don't know that here's the thing, and I think this is be kind of the way that Round County's played this year. If Raceland can get this game in a 55-60 point matchup, I think they win this one easily going away. Round County wants to slow this thing down and keep it down in the 40s. And we saw them play a game at East Carter this year 39-31. It was 13-13 at halftime.
And it was 5-5 at the end of the first quarter.
and that's the type of, if you want to slow it down, Sean Thacker can throw the anchor out with the best of them and just sit down and make you grind it out.
Yeah, Round County's one of those teams, guys, all year, they've just been they're a yo-yo.
They have been a yo-yo.
Absolutely. Man.
Yes.
They beat Boyd County in the All-A, and 10 days later, they get beat by 40 by Boyd County. They go to Fleming County and beat them by 14. Now, I know Jolly didn't play that game, but then they get beat 30 last night. Which Round County team is going to show up?
Lost to Bath.
Which Round County team? Yeah, they lost to Bath at home. Who's going to show up that night? Well,
that's going to be a big key.
The two matchups of watching this game is Waller and Ingalls. Watch that one, and Coates and Thacker, because I think that's your matchups right there. And if Raceland plays defense like they did last night, boys, they might find themselves in the second round.
And here's something I think that Raceland is going to go back and watch. They're going to go back and watch that Bath County game because Bath County's got the big guy inside, and Raceland has Charles Welch. And Charles Welch has just continued to develop all through the year. And I think he presents a lot of problems for Round County defensively, especially if you're going to try to play zone, because you're always going to have to help off. Because I don't know that Rowan County can just play behind him. They're going to have to front him and make you throw over. But when you help off, that's when Raceland's dangerous because they can kick out. But I think, Spitz, you brought up one player that's superb for Rowan County is Jason Ingalls. Everything goes Rowan County.
You can't leave him open.
Gavin Myers is another kid that you're going to hear a lot of in that game. But those two pieces, they are probably going to draw Connor Thacker and Jonah Arnett that's going to be in the grill.
Yeah, and Coates didn't play in the game. He was limited against East Carter. He was coming off an illness, I believe.
Yeah, he was sick.
So, that's the only time I've really got to watch Rowan County. But the minutes he was in, what a difference maker he was. And he won the game at East Carter, really.
I think Raceland's going to come into this ball game with a lot of confidence. They've had a great season, played well down the stretch, won their first district. And I think this game comes down to which Rowan County team, like Coach E said, which team shows up.
Yep.
This
could be a 15-point blowout. It could be a 2-point game at overtime.
Absolutely.
And you worry about Raceland, so emotional in that win, hadn't won a district, since 2018. Are they satisfied? Are they going to come in, and the energy's gone? And you mentioned Charles Welch, and I've banged this drum all year.
Oh, yes.
Most improved player in the region, guys. Most improved player in the region.
Yeah. And, he didn't play a lot of meaningful minutes last year because he was playing behind Connor Sutton. Sutton got hurt, and Welch came in. It was like, oh, who's this kid? Only a sophomore. This year as a junior, he's making that next step forward. His dad was a phenomenal basketball player, and, Joe was talking about last night, and one of the things he said, we don't have to say a lot of things to Charles. He said Charles has so much basketball IQ. He knows when he screws up, and he knows how to fix it. And I think one of the things we saw last night, he stopped trying to block shots. He just tried to alter shots.
And did a great job
of it. All right, let's take a look at the boys bracket again, and then we're going to come back and we're going to make our picks. So again, Wednesday, March 5th at 6:30, Morgan County and Russell will get things rolling first. That's the champions of the 62nd and the runners-up of the 63rd. Fleming and Boyd County in a showdown. That one should be a phenomenal matchup to close things out on day number 1 for the boys. Ashland, Elliott County will tip things off at 6:30 on Thursday, March 6th. And rounding things out for the opening round for the boys will be Raceland and Rowan County at 8. You can catch every bounce of the ball from the opening tip to the championships, and that's coming down right here on Kool TV. All right, we're going to step out for a break. When we come back, it is Judgment Day, and it's time to make our picks as we will come out with who we think will win on both sides of the girls and the boys when we start things off on Monday night here at Johnson Arena. That's as we continue here on the Clark's Pump and Shop 16th Region Draw Show live on Kool TV.
Good morning, Isabella.
Hi, David.
Back for your morning routine?
Clark's Refresh Rewards program is something you'll flip for.
Hey, Isabella.
Hi, Annabelle.
Donut?
Don't forget the sprinkles. Cream and sugar.
Download our app today and enjoy all of the rewards. No flipping required.
Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Home is where you hang your hat. And if you're looking for a newer, nicer home to hang your hat in, talk to the Commercial Bank of Grayson. You'll like our selection of fixed and adjustable rate mortgages and competitive rates. We also offer construction loans, auto loans, online and mobile banking, and many other services. Commercial Bank of Grayson, Grayson and Olive Hill, here for you for 125 years and counting. And you can hang your hat on that. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you can picture yourself in a better job and a better life, there are thousands of openings in Kentucky right now. And with the Work Ready Kentucky Scholarship, you can prepare for many of them tuition-free. Good at Ashland Community and Technical College. This scholarship offers 100% free tuition for classes that can prepare you for a great job in healthcare, advanced manufacturing, and more in as little as 13 weeks. Get started today at WorkReadyKentucky.com.
Primary Plus is celebrating 40 years of its mission of quality, advanced, affordable health care. With over 11 primary care locations throughout the region, Primary Plus believes in our communities and our patients. The Primary Plus name means primary care plus so much more, offering extended services such as women's health, pediatrics, dental, counseling, diabetes management, infusion services, and on-site pharmacy that offers free delivery. Primary Plus believes in connecting health care for you and your family and is always welcoming new patients. Learn more at primaryplus.net.
Back on the Clark's Pump and Shop 16th Region Draw Show live from Morehead State University with Spencer Hutchinson, Coach Hager Easterling, Jim Forrest, Kent Robinson. I'm James Collier. It's Judgment Day. It's time to put it out there, and we're going to make our picks. We're going to put the brackets up on the screen. We're going to start first with the girls, and we're going to go around the table. We'll make each of our first-round picks, and then we will select our champions along the way. So brackets, please, Jacob. Here we go, Spencer. Let's start first. Guys, we'll go game by game around the horn. We'll start first in the opening round. Ashland and Raceland. Spencer, first pick.
Ashland.
Coach?
It's not fair, guys. Ashland is the fastest and the most physical team, and you don't usually see that. Plus, they're the deepest. Ashland.
Ashland. I'm going Ashland as well. Jim?
Absolutely Ashland. I just think they're the cream of the crop again this year, as long as they're healthy. Now, anything can happen.
Yes.
Some player gets hurt. I don't think foul trouble is going to keep them from winning. I think they find a way to rise above that. Some key player or a couple players get hurt, could change, but Ashland.
And the thing with Ashland is that, and this is no slight to them at all, but if you take Kenley Woods off that team, they fall back to the pack.
Oh, no doubt.
They're still a phenomenal team, and I still think they're a favorite across the region, but they are not the heavy favorites that they are of where they are right now with Kenley Woods. Kent?
Ashland.
Okay, game 2, East Carter and Rowan County. Spencer?
East Carter.
I would have put money on that.
You think?
He's got he and Coach Bake
baking the boys and him and the girls.
I mean, it's Bake always. They wear those red colored glasses.
Hey, history seems to repeat itself.
Well, she got mad at us on our show for picking against them. Diamond Wheels. I think she's going to be mad about Rowan County losing to East Carter in the regular season. I'll go with Rowan County in the revenge.
I'm going Rowan County here as well.
Yeah, I think this is, like I said in our earlier segment, I think this is a tough one to call. Could go either way, but I think Rowan County is going to win.
Kent?
Rowan County.
All right, game 3, day number 2. Menifee County and Boyd County. Spencer?
Menifee.
Coach E?
Got a coin. This coin flip game for me. I tell you, Boyd County was picked 7th by the coaches. Kim's done a great job. Menifee on a buzzer beater.
Okay, I'm going Menifee in a tight ball game as well.
I guess I'll go against the crowd then. I'm going to go with Boyd County. I think it could go another one of these games. It could go either way. So, I think you could flip a coin probably. I just think even though I know Menifee County's got some bigs and they could utilize that a little bit, I think playing on the bigger floor again, I think Boyd County can get out and get a lead and hold on to it. So I'm going to go with Boyd.
Kent?
Boyd County for me.
Okay, there we go. All right, last game, Russell and Morgan at 8 o'clock on Tuesday. Spencer?
Russell.
Coach E?
I think Morgan's going to struggle against Russell's pressure and transition on that floor. I'm going to go with Russell.
Russell here, I think, in a 20-point win.
Yeah, I think even though Morgan County is playing good and even though they played a tight game earlier in the year, it's crunch time. They're the defending champs. You got to go with Russell.
Kent?
Russell.
Okay. Now let's go on to the second round. This will be on Friday, March 7th, 6:30 and 8 o'clock. We'll start first. Spencer, Ashland, and you had Ashland and East Carter. Ashland there. Coach E, you had Ashland and Rowan.
Oh, Ashland, yeah.
I had Ashland and Rowan as well. I'm going Ashland. Jim, you had Ashland and Rowan.
Ashland.
And Kent, you had Ashland and Rowan as well. Okay, in the bottom half of the bracket, we've got Menifee County, I think, was half of the table, and the other half was Boyd. So Spencer between Menifee and Russell.
Give me Russell.
Coach E?
Did they played at Menifee? Did Menifee have like a 14, 15-point lead at halftime?
Yes,
down
they
there
did.
Or something? Wow. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Oh. I'll go with Russell.
I am too as well. I'm going with Russell. I think it's going to be a phenomenal matchup. I'm really excited to see.
Yeah.
I've only got to see Menifee play once in person this year, and it was a lot of fun to watch them play. They're very physical. The Burgess girl inside is phenomenal. She plays so well, and like I said, give me Shiloh Baker on my floor anytime because she's a player that is going to be physical. She's going to go do the dirty work that nobody else wants to do, and she is really good on the floor in the post. So I like that one. But Russell, I think with that transition, that speed that they've got is just a step a little bit better. I'm going to go Russell into the championship.
Yeah, I think the transition, the speed, and the defense that Mandy always puts on the other team, Menifee's going to struggle with that, especially on the big floor, so I'm going with Russell.
Kent?
Russell.
All right, so I think we're across the board. We have Ashland and Russell in the championship. This game plays Saturday, March 8th, 7 o'clock, and we'll do it live from Johnson Arena. Spencer?
Ashland.
When Jack Nicklaus was in his prime as a golfer, the other guys used to say, he plays a game I'm not familiar with. And I think Ashland does that right this year in basketball. Ashland.
If I picked Russell here, Mandy Lane would probably slip my tires. But I think it's going to be a much tighter game than what we saw in the regular season. But I still, Ashland with all the pieces that it has, they just get it up and down the floor so well.
Yeah.
And Kenley Woods is a player that takes the game to the next level. I like Ashland in this one.
Yeah, I like Ashland.
Ashland.
All right, there we go. Across the board, Ashland has your 2025 16th region champions. All right, we'll step out for a break. We come back, we will go to the boys bracket as we continue our coverage here on the Clark's Pump and Shop 16th region preview show live on Kool TV.
If you're looking for a complete discount pharmacy with old-fashioned service and excellent prices, look no more. Since 1979, Stultz Pharmacy has provided our area with the finest in pharmacy care, 24-hour emergency prescription service, free delivery, and drive-through service for prescriptions. Stultz Pharmacy continues to fill all of your expectations. They carry a nice selection of gift items. For hometown service, see the professionals at Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup. More than you expect from a pharmacy.
Stultz Pharmacy.
The Greenup County Public Library system is the best. Read the latest bestsellers in large print, regular print, or audio CDs. You can also check out movies or place a hold on a book on our website or call one of the library locations to place a hold. There are community meeting rooms available by reservation at all locations for clubs and organizations. And be sure to check out the Jesse Stewart collection at the Greenup County branch. Check them out on Facebook and Twitter.
Spring fishing season is just around the corner, and Borders Sporting Goods is your fishing headquarters for rods and reels from G. Loomis, St. Croix, Fenwick, Lewes, Daiwa, Shimano, and Abu Garcia. No matter what species of fish you are targeting, Borders has the perfect setup to make your next trip on the water a success. Borders has baits in every style and size with a wide selection of tackle from Berkeley, Strike King, Zoom, Z-Man, Bandit, and many more. Before hitting the water for your next fishing trip, stop by and stock up at Borders Sporting Goods, US 60 West in Ashland.
Since 1932, we've been a proud part of Kentucky, dedicated to serving our members with integrity, respect, and a commitment to excellence. We believe that by working together, we can create a brighter future for everyone. Whether you're saving for a new home, planning for retirement, or starting your own business, we're here to help you every step of the way. So stop wishing and start doing. And let's build a financially successful future together. Thank you for being a part of our journey.
Back on the Clark's Pump and Shop 16th Region Draw Show live from Morehead State University. All right, guys, let's delve into the boys bracket. Here we go as we start things off on Wednesday, March the 5th, 6:30. Our first game will be Morgan County and Russell. Spencer, I'll start with you.
It's going to be a great game. I think Derek has enough, though. I think the size really bothers Morgan County Russell.
Coach E?
I think the only way Morgan can win is just make the game as frenetic as possible and just get up and down the floor. I said Charles Welch, most improved player in the region. Tyler Cordial, to me, is probably the second most improved player in the region. I like Russell.
I too will like Russell in this game. I was really impressed with what they did last night, especially after getting blown out of Raceland 2 weeks ago when they lost 67-26. And they came in last night and they put a fight up. But I thought Raceland defended it very well. Morgan does not have that type of defense that they can get up in Russell for 32 minutes. I'm going to take Russell here in a close ball game.
Yeah, I think it's been a good season for Morgan County, and I think the win in the district championship was great for them. Winning on the road on their opponent's home floor, but I don't think they have the defense either that Raceland has against, can go up against the bigs of Russell. And I think, I think Russell's going to be ready for them, and I think they're going to play well enough to win. It's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any chance, but I think Russell will win.
Kent?
I'll go with Russell.
All right, Russell across the board. All right, game 2, Fleming County Boyd. What may be one of the best games of the entire tournament, both boys and girls. The people be kidding around. First one to 100 wins in this one. I don't know that I'll go to 100, but I think if Boyd County gets this into an 80 or more game, they win this game. If Fleming County can keep this around a 70, 75-point game, it's certainly a different conversation that we're having with the possibility of Fleming County coming out of there. Spencer, I'll start with you. Which one?
Could be Fleming County.
Okay, Coach E?
Well, I hope Buddy does play 2-2-1 back into 2-3 because I don't want to fall out of our chair.
I would fall out of the chair just stop. I may just put my headset down and say, good night, folks, we're done. And that's no slight against Buddy.
Yeah.
Jim Boeheim made his life living at Syracuse on playing 2-3 zone. And the way that they played their 2-3 zone made it look like there were 6 people on the floor. And Buddy Biggs is one of those coaches that he knows how to get the best out of his team playing a 2-3 zone. And the problem is if you get a team hot from the perimeter and you don't come out of it, you're in a very difficult setup.
And he's probably not going to. And I'm like you. I love Buddy. I think he's a great coach. I worry about Jolly's health. I've been saying that for a long time. Is he back to where he can be the water bug?
Still concerned about that ankle.
Exactly. Boyd County, you worry about them guys. You still say it. Are they going to be looking at the finals in this game? And if they are, Fleming could easily be.
Yes.
I'm going to go with Boyd.
I think this is going to be another good ball game, but I think Boyd on the big floor presents a lot of problems. The worst thing that could happen for Boyd County, though, is shots not go down. And then that's when those long-range shots, that's when the 2-3 zone really comes into play even more because it allows them just to sag and gives those open looks. But again, Boyd County, they have that. This is one of the words we haven't said this year, but you love it. They've got spurtability.
They do.
They've got that to where they can just run out there and they can throw off 10, 12, 15 points in a row. But I think Boyd County's got enough, especially with an ugly taste in their mouth after that district championship loss to Ashland.
Yeah, I think it's going to be probably the best game of the region. I think also it's going to be a game of spurts, like I said earlier in the show. And it's going to come down to who's shooting the ball the best. I mean, that's all there is to it. If Boyd County's hitting their shots, they're going to be tough to beat. If they're not, Fleming County can beat them for sure. And Boyd County, do they come in with something to prove after the district loss? I don't know. I mean, you think so, but I don't know. I don't know how they're looking at that. And I think it's going to come down to coaching too. I really do. Are they going to change up what they do? Most coaches don't.
No.
But are they going to try something that gives their team an edge? I don't know. But in the end, I'm going to say, all things being equal, Boyd County makes just enough shots to win, but it wouldn't surprise me if Fleming won. But I'll go with Boyd.
Kent?
I'll go with Boyd County.
All right, so 4 of us with Boyd, 1 with Fleming.
Same way with East Carter. Either I'm going to look like an idiot or the genius.
Or
Don't leave that for discussion. Okay?
Or you just got lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I would look at it.
All right, here we go. This is on Thursday, March 6th, 6:30 in the first game, Ashland and Elliott County. Spencer.
Ashland.
Coach E.
I've said this to you many times already. Do you guys know what Elliott County was voted in the preseason?
15th.
Well, 14th out of 15.
Or 14th. Oh, yeah, because Rose Hill was out. Yeah, that's right.
They were voted 14th by the coaches. So okay, all right, I'm off that. They've reaped. They've had a really good year, obviously, Elliott County, but I just don't see any way they can beat Ashland.
Ashland's just way too strong.
Yeah.
I think Ashland cruises in this one.
Like I said earlier, Elliott County's going to play a type of competition they haven't played, and Ashland's going to win.
Kent?
Elliott County's getting there. Ashland's there. They know what to expect. Grave got all these guys coming back.
Everybody back.
Everybody back.
We go by there Sunday nights at 8 o'clock, and there's 20 cars in the parking lot. They're in there playing ball, but it's Ashland's game.
All right, last game of the boys' opening round, Raceland-Rowan. Spencer.
Raceland.
You talk about coaches not wanting to deviate from what they've done all year. You've got one in this game that will throw the whole game plan out after the first quarter and deviate if he needs to. I think Sean's done a great job with that program ever since he's been there.
Mm-hmm.
But like we said, Round County's just been so up and down. And I love the way Raceland played last night. As long as they're not satisfied, and
Yes.
the energy's gone,
Yep.
I think they win this game.
Sean Thacker could go 2-3, full court man-to-man, 1-3-1, half court press, run and jump.
All in the first quarter.
And all do that in 4 trips. I mean, it's just, and that's the thing that I think, the biggest thing that Raceland has to understand is I think the biggest guy on the floor that's going to have the most pressure on him in that game is going to be Jake Waller.
Yes.
Because he's the guy that is the point guard, and he's the one that's going to have to be able to look out and say, wait a minute, they switched. We got to back this out and reset. Because if you don't recognize that switch, and all of a sudden they were 2-3 and they just went into 1-3-1, and you dribble right into a trap. And I think that's the biggest thing. Sean Thacker will throw the kitchen sink at him. And I guarantee you this weekend, Joe Bryant is going to run his team through every single possible defense that is out there that you could see. But I think this is going to be a phenomenal matchup. If Raceland matches the intensity they had through the 63rd District Tournament, we'll take Raceland.
I think that's going to be the key. Raceland has to come in with the same intensity. They can't be satisfied with winning a district championship. They have to be focused on getting to the semifinals. Forget thinking about getting to the finals. Let's win this first game, get to the semifinals, and not be satisfied, have intensity, play as hard as they have. I've seen Raceland over the years, and not to knock Joe or any other coach, win the All-A region and go to the All-A and get absolutely blown out by a team that they could have beat, that they should have beat, because I've been there and watched it, and teams they've had on the ropes. But the intensity just wasn't. It's like we won and we got there now, and they can't let that happen, because Round County under Coach Thacker, with the defenses he throws out there, they'll beat them, okay? But the thing that gets me about Round County is uncertainty. I don't care how good Coach Thacker is and how many defenses, his players have been so uncertain.
Yeah.
Here, there, here, beat somebody, go get beat by somebody that they should have beat by 20. The uncertainty for Round County, what team is going to show up and play on that floor? I don't care how you're coaching them, you've got to have the players all focused. And I'm going to go with Raceland. I think Raceland gets to the semis.
Kent?
I think Raceland stays on that high. Coach Thacker's got a really good team. Again, Joe got his first district win, 22 wins on the season. I like Raceland. I got a question for Coach E. Raceland's still on that high. You could see it when he walked in here today.
yeah.
They're not playing until Thursday. Does that change things? Does that high stay up, or do you come down a little bit? Because you got several days before you're going to play. I think it's a pretty good ball team.
Well, you got a chance to enjoy it
Yeah.
and get that out of your system and then refocus. And didn't these two teams play a few years ago, and it was like 12-8 at halftime or something like that? So I think he's got a chance. I think he's got enough time to get them refocused on this game and get them back to being excited about playing.
I'll go with the Rams.
All right, so we've got, for the most part, Ashland and Boyd in the championships, other than the loan deck over here. Spencer's got Fleming County. All right, Spencer, championship game on Tuesday, March 11th. Well, that is when that will play. Let's talk about our semifinals first. Fleming and Boyd. This game plays on Monday, March 10th at 6:30. Who you got?
I had Fleming and Russell, and I'll go Fleming.
Coach E?
I think Russell has a chance to win this game if they just walk the ball up and down the floor and slow the pace down. I'm not saying hold the ball. I'm saying slow the pace down. No running. Absolutely no forcing tempo. Maybe a fast break on a turnover or something like that. But they've got the athletes. If they can get that game at the pace where they want it, which is slow, they have a chance. But I like Boyd.
I'm going to take Boyd here as well. I think that the biggest thing that Boyd has is that they've got the Childers kid that can combat the guys inside. They've got Jacob Spurlock, who's going to crawl up in you. Rhett Holbrook, maybe one of the best defenders in the 16th region. They've got the people to go out there and lock down, much like what Raceland did last night. And the most important thing is Boyd County can run.
Yeah.
And if Russell lets them get in an up and down game, that thing can get out of hand in a heartbeat. Jim?
Yeah, I think Coach E is right. I mean, Russell has to really slow it down to have a chance. I mean, really slow it down. And let's face it, that is hard to do. That is really hard to be disciplined enough to do that yourself. And it's really hard to do against a team who's not going to let you do that, who's going to get right up in you and not let you do that. And every time they get a chance, every basket made, every time the ball's loose, they're going to run. I just don't think Russell can slow it down enough, and I think Boyd County's back in the championship.
Kent?
I'll go with Boyd County.
All right, Boyd across the board, but still with your Fleming, you still think that Fleming has the opportunities there.
I think Fleming's good enough to beat Boyd. I know you guys don't, but I do.
Yeah, so we'll see. Okay, bottom half of the bracket, Ashland and Raceland. We were across the board. Spencer?
Ashland.
Coach E?
I'll go with Ashland.
I think Ashland as well. I think Raceland can keep this one close for a half, but the athletes that Ashland has, the way that they can really spread the floor, I think Ashland pulls away.
Yeah, no doubt Ashland.
Kent?
Ashland.
Okay, let's make our final pick for the boys. So,
I got Ashland.
You've got?
I got Ashland winning it.
Boyd just, they kill me, guys. They really do. I mean, they kill me. They play the first game, they get caught up in a frenetic pace, they give up 85, get blown out. They go to Ashland and they play exactly the way they need to play to beat Ashland, which, like we said, Lewis County need to play. They played through Childers to start the game. Drew double teams, scored. Didn't do that, just run, try to match points, and they hold them to 66 and win. And then in they go back in the district finals, and they get caught up in that frenetic pace again, trying to, we can outrun you guys, and they give up 96. We all know what Ashland's biggest weakness is, guys. They don't have any size.
They can't rebound.
Yeah. They don't have any size down inside. Boyd County has somebody that can take advantage of that. The question is, will they? But I still go with, I think Ashland has a kid that is not going to let Ashland lose. I'm going with Ashland.
I'm with that. I think if you come down, you balance these things out. The one piece of the puzzle you're going to put on that balance beam that's going to change everything is Xander Carter. He's a phenomenal young kid, and I can see him for sure going forward as a champion. Ashland.
Yeah, I think that this will be a good matchup again. I mean, Boyd County doesn't come in necessarily thinking they can't win because they've already beat them on their home floor once.
Playing the way they need to, though.
Yeah, and that's going to be the key.
Yeah.
And you know what? That sometimes isn't up to you. It's dictated by the other team. If the other team jumps out on top first and they dictate the pace, then you're trying to play catch up all the time, and that's why you get in that running game with them, and then it's all over. Okay, they've got to hang with them that first quarter. They've got to make them play their kind of ball that first quarter, even though it's not really Boyd County's kind of ball, but they need to change that up. Don't know if they can sustain that on the big floor where Ashland can really space it out as well as they do. I mean, we've seen it for 6 straight years, guys. They space the ball out as well as anybody on the big floor.
Well, you said the key right there, though. That's not Boyd County's type of ball, but that's the way they have to play to beat them.
I agree.
So. And it's really hard for a team to do that.
Yeah,
they did it once.
You have to flip the script.
They did it once out of 3 games.
They did it, but can they do it on a big
Exactly.
stage?
And I said this too, and we said this on the preview show last Sunday. The game that played Thursday night in the district championship, that was not the game Boyd County wanted to win.
Oh, no.
Because if they won that game, that was their Super Bowl. I said if they've got any chance of beating Ashland when the chips are on the table, they had to not win in the district championship game. They won last year 3 games, and then they lost when it counted the most. I think that you see a much different thing, but I think that's the big thing, Jim. You pointed out. Can they play differently in that one game for that one game only? Because that's the way they have to do it.
On a big stage.
Yes.
On a bigger floor, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm picking Ashland.
Ashland.
Yeah. All right. So
record setting.
Yeah, record setting. Seventh heaven. I mean, I told them print the T-shirts. I said that back in October. I said print the T-shirts.
You got a patent on that, don't you?
I think so. I need to get it on there real quick. I'll make some money off of that. All right, we're going to step out for our final break. We come back, we'll go through the brackets one final time and then wrap things up here for Morehead as we continue our coverage here on the 16th Region Preview Show live from Morehead State University on Kool TV.
I'm rolling on empty. Holla if you feel me. Gotta make a pit stop. Got my boys Kool and Robinson rolling with me. I pump my gas. I grab my snacks. I'm saving cash with my Clark's pump and shop app. I pump and shop. I pump and shop. I use the app to pump and shop.
Use Clark's Pump and Shop app to earn rewards and save big.
I use the app to pump and shop.
At First National Bank, we strive to make every person that walks through our doors feel like family, because to us, you are. For over 120 years, we have lived in and served the families of Kentucky with genuine care through the good times and the bad. Come and see the difference banking with family can truly make for you at any of our 7 locations, or visit our website at www.fnbgrayson.com. First National Bank, member FDIC.
Welcome back to Papa John's. I'm hand stuffing this mozzarella to make our epic stuffed crust pizza.
Epic.
Epic. Hey. We're making you an epic stuffed crust pizza for $13.99.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
The Ashland Area YMCA is where families and friends come to stay active and have fun. As a staple of the Ashland community for 125 years, we offer a wide range of activities and classes. We have something for all ages and interests, from cardio, fitness, and personal training, to swimming at our junior Olympic-sized pool, to a variety of sports facilities and programs. Follow us on social media to learn more about our programs, or visit us today at the Ashland Area YMCA.
McMeans Pharmacy has 2 locations to serve you. Stop by 29th Street and Carter Avenue in Ashland, or in their South Point location. Call McMeans Pharmacy in Ashland at 325-8400. In South Point, call 740-377-2677. For all your pharmacy needs, McMeans Pharmacy is the place for you. McMeans Pharmacy in Ashland and South Point. In Ashland, call 325-8400. In South Point, call 377-2677.
Back here on the Clark's Puppet Shop 16th Region Draw Show live from Morehead State University. Let's look at the brackets one final time, as again we will start things on Monday night at 6:30. Our Papa John's Pizza Game Changer preview show will begin at 6 o'clock each and every evening. Here's the way things will line up. Monday night at 6:30, Ashland and Raceland will tee things up first, followed by East Carter and Rowan County at 8 o'clock. Game number 3 in the tournament will come on day number 2. Tuesday, March the 4th at 6:30, Menifee County and Boyd County in the rubber match of the season. And then Russell and Morgan County will wrap things up that evening at 8 o'clock. On Wednesday, we switch over to the boys. Morgan County and Russell out of the gate. They'll tip it off at 6:30, followed by Fleming County and Boyd County at 8 o'clock that evening. The final day of the opening round, Ashland and Elliott County at 6:30, Raceland and Rowan County at 8 o'clock. And again, you can see all of those games right here on Kool TV. Girls semifinals on Friday night at 6:30 and 8. Championship game is Saturday at 7. And then the boys back on Monday. They'll go at 6:30 and 8. Championship on Tuesday the 11th. Girls head off to the Sweet 16 that week. Then we pause a week because of the NCAA tournament at Rupp Arena. And then the boys will play that final week of the month of March in the tournament. It's kind of going to feel like that year we had COVID when everything got pushed back and we were playing in that first week of April. It's going to be a different feeling for some of these teams, and for some of those teams it's going to be, you know, if you get a kid banged up in the regional tournament, you get a little bit extra time to maybe get them back.
You got 2 weeks, the boys, you got 2 weeks to prepare for whoever your opponent's going to be, and you're probably going to know that because the girls' state's going on, so everything's going to be finished. You got 2 weeks to prepare. A lot of coaching will go into that, and you got 2 weeks to heal. I mean, it's going to change the whole, I think, idea of going to a state tournament immediately.
But if you're playing well, then you worry about losing that edge.
Losing that edge. You take that. Sometimes you want that. You want to go. So
for the girls, it's not much different. I mean, you're going to be playing the girls and boys both open up the state tournaments this year for the 16th region, both of them. So very first game out of the gate for the 16th region.
Yeah, so it should be some interesting things, to say the least. Guys, great show this morning. Always a pleasure working with you guys. Looking forward to a great next 10 days or so in Morehead. We're going to call it our home. But again, if you're not following us on our YouTube channel, hit that like button, subscribe, give us a thumbs up if you see something you like. Again, we'll have every bounce of the ball from the opening tip to the nets coming down on both of the championship games, and teams head off to the Sweet 16. Guys, enjoy the weekend, and we'll talk to most of you guys this coming week coming up.
Get some rest, boys.
Absolutely. Big thanks to our producer today, Jacob Hankins, behind the TVs, doing everything, taking care of all the stuff. Greatly appreciate him. All the great folks here at Morehead State University that took care of us to have a place to set up this morning. For Spencer Hutchinson, Coach Hager Eastling, Jim Forrest, Kent Robinson, Jacob Hankins, I'm James Collier saying so long. We'll talk to you Monday from Morehead State University and Johnson Arena for the boys and girls 16th Region Tournament right here on Kool TV. Thank you for watching the 16th Region Basketball Draw and Preview Show live on the Kool Sports Network and Kool TV. This broadcast of the 16th Region Basketball Draw and Preview Show has been a special sports presentation of the Kool Sports Network and Kool TV.